Today I'm going to teach you how to live your life proactively instead of reactively, and this is one of the most important videos I could ever do, because by living reactively based on your patterns that come from the past, you're just refeeding the patterns because you're signaling to your brain that that's what you care about. And if you reactively live your life based on emotions and thoughts, to fix those emotions and thoughts, that's how you recreate those patterns and make them even bigger, and you get off your purpose, because you're going to be like a feather in the wind, moved back and forth by emotions and thoughts. But if you proactively living your life, you're showing your brain a new algorithm. So let's get into it. Also, you give authenticity. You become the authentic you that you are, because the reactive you is based on the old patterns that you got from family members, your surrounding, but the proactive you is based on your values. So you show yourself how to be actually authentic for the first time and not be a slave to the patterns, a puppet to the patterns, to your brain patterns, and I'm going to show you that today. So I made this whiteboard here about the reactive side, and we got the proactive living side. Reactively living is based on feelings and based on thoughts, where feelings come inside of your body and thoughts come inside of your mind, and you're not accepting them, you are trying to fix them. So you're not living your life based on values, you are living your life to try to get relief from feelings and thoughts. This is called compulsions. Compulsions are behaviors that we do to fix feelings and thoughts. Paradoxically, by trying to fix feelings and thoughts, you showing your brain not, oh, help me get rid of these feelings and thoughts, so I have empty space, so I'm happy again. The brain doesn't speak that language, because the brain speaks the language of behavior, which means the brain only looks at your behavior, what you spent your time and energy on, what you give attention to, and wants to support you in that behavior. Which means if you show the brain that you love living feeling and thought-based, that you love trying to fix feelings and thoughts, the brain's like, oh, you love, this side, you love fixing feelings and thoughts, that's your favorite hobby, let me give you more feelings, thoughts in your head, and feelings in your body, and they're going to be more excessive. So that means we all naturally grow up with emotions. Like anxiety is a normal emotion, no matter what anybody tells you. Excessive anxiety is not a normal emotion. It's gonna be created through compulsions, aka you making anxiety wrong. So let's say anxiety shows up in your body, regular anxiety, right? And you're like, no, what's wrong with me? Maybe I have to go to therapy, there's something wrong with me. The brain's like, oh, you love interacting with this. You love more of this. Okay, let me give you more anxiety thoughts and anxiety emotions. And that's actually how you create excessive anxiety. So compulsions reactively around feelings and thoughts creates more excessive feelings and thoughts. And as I said here, you consider them as wrong feelings, which is very important to acknowledge, because that's the attitude. No, I don't like this, I need to fix this, instead of accepting, okay, which would actually create mental health, mental fitness, but you go, no, I can't, no, and your brain's like, oh, you love playing with this. This is your favorite sport. Look how you engage with. The brain only cares about engagement. Think of a social media algorithm. Whatever you engage with on social media, if you watch dancing videos, painting videos, the algorithm gives you more of. The same the brain does. So we need to change our algorithm. Now on the other side, proactively living is value-based, okay? Based on your values, based on things you want to grow in your life, based on the things you want to give to yourself to live a good life, and to give to your loved ones to live a good life, because we're also in relationships with people in life. Now, but if we say values, that's kind of a little bit conceptual, so how do we support that practically? Values are always supported by actions. Now, I'll give you an example. Someone could tell you, yeah, I'm honest, I'm loyal, I'm a very loving person, I'm a kind person, I'm a respectful person. All these are words, they are values, but they are only words. Now, they don't mean anything by itself, because someone can say these things, but they can do totally different things, right? Now, I give you an example. When I was young and my dad said, I'll pick you up in 5 minutes, right? With the car, we're going somewhere, maybe a shopping center, maybe he comes from work and he's like, I'll pick you up in 5 minutes. He was there in 5 minutes. I didn't have no doubt because he always showed me he was there on time in 5 minutes. When he said, I'll pick you up in 30 minutes, he was there in 30 minutes. And I didn't have no doubt. He was on the phone, hey, I'll pick you up in 30 minutes. So I was like, okay, I'm getting ready because I know he's going to be there in 30 minutes, right? So when he said, I'll pick you up in 45 minutes, he was there in 45 minutes, okay? This was his behavior. This was his actions. He was on time. What did that show to me? It showed me that he respects me. Respect. It shows me that he's loyal to me. It shows me that he cares about me. Right? It shows me maybe that he's kind, whatever. Kind, respectful, loyal, caring. He showed me with his behavior that his values, right? That he cares about me, right? Another person can say, oh yeah, I'm so respectful, right? But they never show up on time when you meet up with them at the shopping center or golf court or swimming, wherever you guys meet up, right? The beach. They're never on time. Right? So they are not considerate of your time. So with their action, they actually show you they are not respectful. Right? So this is our proactive side. Okay? And you will see how living based on this side will change your entire life. I'm serious. And it will get rid of a lot of problems. And this is a fundamental, this is a foundational way of living. This is not like what a lot of these self-help coaches and give you, oh, this trick and this technique. This is a foundational practice because life is about practice. It's about skills. It's not about, oh, I'll give you this trick, I'll give you this trick for the lazy people. No, but if you practice the same way as you practice in the gym, you get stronger and everything gets easier, all right? So here on this side, you consider there are wrong feelings and wrong thoughts and you need to fix them, which causes compulsions, which creates mental health problems. On this side, there are no wrong feelings. Sorry, I don't know if you can see this. There are no wrong feelings or thoughts. There are no wrong feelings or thoughts, which is so cool because if we don't make them wrong, we don't engage with them and the brain doesn't give us more of. The brain says, oh, I've been giving them to you. Maybe from the past, the brain gives you fear of judgment and you want to create a YouTube video and the fear of judgment comes up and thoughts that you're not good enough and you're like, nah, they're not wrong feelings or thoughts, they're just, well, I don't care. But I move forward doing the valued actions. Over time, you show your brain that you don't care anymore about those patterns, but on this side, you might avoid making the videos because of the fear of judgment that the brain gives you from the past. And with that, you're showing the brain that this is still valid. It's still valid thoughts and emotions because the brain is not your enemy. It just looks at what is it that that you care about, that you engage with. What is still useful? What are you still using? You have to understand that you are showing the brain the algorithm with your behavior, inside and outside of your head. That's why today I'm showing you how to change that algorithm, all right? Number 3 or 4, however you want to say, this side, being reactive to emotions and thoughts, creates mental health problems. It literally creates things like ADHD, BPD, OCD, because all those things are created from being reactive to emotions and thoughts. Because if you think about it, if you have any of those things, your symptoms are based on emotions and thoughts. And you change your behavior based on these emotions and thoughts. If ADHD, for example, when the thought comes in, oh, do this different thing, and you constantly distract yourself, you create the skill of distraction, right? OCD, let's say you you think your hands are dirty and you want to clean your hands, you always show yourself that, because a feeling comes up that you're not clean, and you're like, I need to fix this feeling of not feeling clean, and you try to clean it, and your brain's like, oh, you love feeling these dirty feelings? Let me give you more feelings that your hands are dirty. Now, this side creates mental health problems, right? This side creates actually mental and emotional fitness. Why is that? Because we're practicing to move forward with the wrong feelings. And I just call them wrong feelings. They are of course not wrong, but to communicate it better, because a lot of people consider them like wrong feelings. They're uncomfortable feelings. Oh, I don't want to move forward with them. I need to clean it first. I need to clean my trauma. I need to clean this feeling. I need to clean this experience to be able to live my life. But that's backwards. That will actually make you less likely to live your life. But if you like, I can live my life with any of these feelings, you create emotional fitness, because these feelings are kind of like physical fitness with weights that create resistance. And the more you practice the skill to move forward with any emotions or thoughts, you create emotional fitness, and guess what's happening? Your life gets so much easier, and I speak from experience, because you get so much stronger, you become a bigger space, and then emotions, when they hit you, it's like a bulletproof vest. You're like, let's move forward. And you're already so used to moving forward with your valued actions that you trained your brain also to not give you as many thoughts, intrusive thoughts and emotions anymore, and your brain supports you more in your values, in living your life, what is actually what you want to do, okay? So here, very interesting, the next point is, this reactive living creates a personality based on your patterns, because from the past, you had traumatic experience, you had all kinds of brainwashing from your surroundings, from your school, from your family, and those patterns, you think they're true. They are true to you. And so you've been reacting to them. And the more you react to these emotions and thoughts of that you may be this kind of person, you maybe have this kind of box that you created for yourself, what kind of things you can achieve and not achieve based on where you were born, or your religion, or your beliefs, or what your family is doing, or what your dad is doing, your mom is doing. And that reacting to those thoughts and emotions just creates more of that story, and you get stuck in that story, and then you have all these blockages of believing what you can do and what you can't do, but it's really just based on being reactive to the story, the emotions, and the thoughts. That's why this is actually not the true you, it's the created you based on the patterns that you keep regurgitating, you keep refeeding those patterns from the past. Let me drink some water real quick. Now, this side, proactive living, is the authentic you, because it's based on your values, based on the things that you actually want to grow in life. Now, me personally, I like to take the formula of Bashar, which is the follow your excitement with no insistence on the outcome. And follow your excitement with no insistence on the outcome, Bashar talks about that formula, you will go in the direction of your true self by following your excitement. Now, excitement is not only jumping up in the air, as he explained. Excitement, it's also just what you're interested in, what you're curious about, what you resonate with. Maybe you resonate with this video, maybe you resonate with all kinds of different teachings, and then you explore going in those directions. Now, that's part of it, the following your excitement formula. In addition, we want to look at what things support your life, because maybe your job right now is not your biggest excitement, but it's still supporting your life with money and your family. So that's also a valued action that you want to incorporate in your life. But of course, if you have more dreams, different dreams, while doing that valued actions of money in your free time, you might want to build your business that goes in the direction of your excitement. So over time, you can shift, right? Which I did. I used to drive Uber and Lyft. And then at the same time, I was making videos. And over time, I shifted. So the valued actions that you proactively act on create a new algorithm by showing your brain that you care about something else than the emotions and thoughts. And over time, you're literally changing that algorithm to a healthier algorithm that supports you in living in an authentic way based on your values, your excitement, etc. Values are the things that support your life, like physical fitness, business/money, creating creative expression, creating all the beautiful things that you want to build to live a beautiful life. But it's based on actions, whatever supports you. And it will be a balance because you cannot only work. You also need fun, relaxation, and these are also based on actions. So this is how you change your algorithm. Now, a big part of changing your algorithm here, that's one part, the valued actions. But if you're still spending time inside of your head while you're doing the valued actions, you're still feeding the old pattern, the thought pattern. So you're still showing your brain that you want to live the old pattern, and your brain gives you more of those patterns. And maybe you change your life then also based on those thought patterns. So that's why spending time outside of your head is so important, the mindfulness, because it shows your brain that you don't want to spend time inside of your head more on these patterns, and then you also less burning out. You create less resistance. Like this step, what I'm talking about, this side is more resistance because you constantly engage with these thoughts and emotions, and the brain constantly gives you a wave of thoughts and emotions, and you get overwhelmed. You're constantly in your head, you're overthinking, you're burning out. That's why actually a lot of people also burn out, not only because the extra work outside of your head, but the extra work that you have inside of your head. When you change to proactive living, which is spending time outside of your head on the valued actions, you're changing the algorithm of the brain and show your brain that you don't care anymore about the thoughts and emotions, and your brain gets you less thoughts and emotions, so you're not burning out anymore. So you have a free mind here, walking around in the world. You have so much more access to energy because you're letting go of this process over here. So this causes overthinking, and this causes a free mind full of energy because you have space, because you're not engaging anymore with this algorithm living reactively. Do you guys see how important it is to stop living reactively and start living proactively? It literally changes your entire life. If you want to find your values, you can check out my book, The Emotional Fitness Book. There's so many animations in there to explain the workings of the brain, and also there's the value garden exercise in there that was created by Mark Freeman. I added in my book to the value garden exercise 7 categories of values that I do believe are very universal to humans. And so you can better find all your values. So you have an easier time to find your values. And then what you want to do is to live proactively, very important. You want to proactively schedule those valued actions in the week. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to take up more territory to change the algorithm. Right? The brain oftentimes is like, oh no, but I have to be perfect. And then you mess up once and you're like, oh no, I messed up everything. No, you're just getting stronger over time. Even if you miss one workout at the gym, that doesn't mean you messed up. You just go another day and another, and you have the workouts that you have all together in the month, in the year, is what changes your physical fitness. So sometimes even if you don't have a perfect workout or you mess up, that doesn't mean that you need to give up. You just need to take up more territory, and you want to proactively set those valued actions into your week and say, okay, I do this gym at this time, this at that time, and when then that time comes and a wrong feeling comes up, you're like, yes, I can have this wrong feeling, and I move forward to the gym anyway. This is the practice, and that way you show yourself that you are in charge and not the brain is in charge. Because if the feeling of not feeling like building your business or going to the gym comes up, and you avoid going to the gym because of the feeling, you're feeding that pattern. Or you avoid, or if the feeling of, or if you scheduled making a video for social media for your business comes up at 4 p.m. on a Tuesday, and at 3:30 you're like, no, I have the fear of judgment, and you avoid it, you are feeding the fear of judgment. That's why you want to have a different attitude for proactive living towards the feelings that you consider wrong. Instead of saying, no, oh, not this feeling, you want to be like, yes, I get to practice, I get to get stronger with this feeling. You want to make it like a badge of honor. Like, yes, I get to work with this feeling of fear of judgment, and I'm moving forward with it, and it makes me stronger. You want to remind the benefit that it will give you and spend time outside of your head with that feeling, and I can have that feeling and I move forward. But I don't focus on that feeling. I focus on the valued actions. I prioritize, instead of obsessing about the feeling, and I don't like the word obsession, of course, but you obsessing about the valued actions. And with that, you show your brain that you care about valued actions. So you want to move forward with that feeling, and instead of saying, no, oh, I hope it doesn't hurt me, you're like, yes, I get to practice with it. And that attitude, you laying another layer of, so to say, positivity on it. Dr. Reed Wilson talked about this, and he helps people with OCD, where instead of the fear response, no, you put another feeling, a positive feeling of, yes, I get to practice with this, of conviction on top of it. But it has to be like, yes, I get to practice. You want to be even excited about it. Yes, I get to practice with moving forward with anxiety, and I know it's going to give me benefits. So yes, bring it on. I proactively set this valued action in my day, and now any feeling can come up, and I have this feeling, and I move forward. You don't obsess about the feeling. You're like, yes, I can have this, and I move forward, and I focus on making a good video. You focus on making whatever is in front of you well. You're doing, Mark Freeman talks about this. You're doing whatever is in front of you well. And with that, you're shifting your focus. You're shifting the signal to the brain, because your brain cares about what you focus on, what you spent your time and energy on. So when you shift that signal, that focus, and you keep shifting it, and it's going to be challenging in the beginning because this is trying to get all your attention. Because it's been feeding. It's giving you all these thoughts and emotions. And you're going to be like, yes, I can have this, and move forward. Be kind to yourself. You just have to take up more territory over time. And this proactive living will totally change your life, make you stronger, and make everything easier. So I hope you enjoyed this presentation. If you want to go deeper, you can check out my emotional fitness book. I actually have a seminar coming up in Los Angeles. Amazing seminar where I teach how to stop living reactively, a reactive life based on patterns, and how to start living your life authentically, proactively. It's only going to be 12 participants in LA on December 14th. I want to create not only giving a lot of value, massive value, and if you have my book, you know I give massive value. I also want to create a heartfelt experience, because I do believe that it's not only the value that's very important, but also the experience of the workshop. So if you want to come, get more information, you can message me in the email in the description. With that being said, I'm excited to see you guys next time.